Okay, we're live, Megan.
Okay.
Um, what was I gonna say? Okay, so you know what the topic is. What do you identify yourself as specifically?
I'm agnostic.
It's an agnostic, is what you identify as.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to elaborate on that?
Um. Oh my gosh. It just means to me that I don't have a specific religion and I don't
Why is this
go.
going back? Hold on one second. Crap, hold on one second. I freaking had the. God dang it. Had to. I had it opened in YouTube, like this live stream, real quick on the thing. I was viewing it. Oh, we have one viewer. Hello. Um, I had it open in the freaking thing, and it was kind of replay. Oh, the person left. If we had it, it kind of went back. Let me listen in on this real quick. Okay. Anyways, kind of repeat what you said. My bad. My bad on that one, everybody.
Who is that?
This was my. I'm watching it on the thing. Anyways, continue.
Okay. Um. I identify myself as an agnostic, meaning I don't have a specific
Preference.
religion preference. Like I don't really like into that kind of stuff. Like I don't necessarily agree with the Bible and the things that it says in there. Like some of it just doesn't make sense to me.
What about like Islam
What about it?
or the Quran?
What about it?
I mean, like you said specifically the Bible. I mean, do you believe anything or agree with anything in the Quran?
Well, there are some things that I do agree with, and then there are things that I don't agree with.
Okay, so as you stand, you're generally just like, okay, I believe in a God, but not any specific God,
Yeah.
something like that. Okay, see, because I identify as a full blown atheist. I just don't believe in anything really aside from the fact. I mean, there's theories, just like the Big Bang Theory and stuff like that, and the evolutionary theory. I mean, I don't necessarily believe in the Big Bang Theory. I mean, it kind of reverts back to the same theory of creationism, as but whereas creationism doesn't have any proof or little to none, at least the Big Bang Theory has relative proof regarding it in that situation. I don't know. It's a God to me. Just I don't see existing in any world specifically, but I mean, it's like I said, it all comes down to evidence and what facts are presented to me. You know,
Yeah.
um, what what facts do you have regarding your own personal belief? Like, are you based off facts, or are you based off a little bit of facts and a little bit of
I'm
just
based off
general faith?
strictly facts, evidence.
Okay, but
I believe
uh,
that if you can't prove what you just said, then shut up because you don't make sense. And like, I don't know, like if someone were to tell me that the earth was flat and
by the way, speaking on
I,
that topic, there are actually still people today that believe the Earth is flat. Just wanted to point that out.
well, they're fucking retarded.
Agreed, but like, well, with that being said, I mean, like, if you're a Christian or if you're a Muslim or if you're a Buddhist or whatever, I mean, you have your own belief, and
Yeah, and I
I'm
respect
not
people have the
exactly.
right to believe what the hell they want to. People like freedom of religion, all that dumb shit. And like if I am friends with people that are Christians, like I'm not gonna try to convert you to not believe in what you believe in. Like it just doesn't bother me. And like my dad and my stepmom, like they're so scared that you're gonna make me an atheist because they think that you're gonna like convert me not to believe in God anymore, which has
Uh,
already happened,
oh
but
yeah,
not because of you.
you're already on the border there. I am. you're already on the border there with the being an agnostic and everything. But I don't know. Being an atheist, I mean, it doesn't really change anything aside from how I lived my life before. Aside from the fact that I simply don't believe in a higher power, other than, I mean, I guess you could say like nature would be necessarily the higher power, just in general the way the universe works.
How do you think we got here?
Well, see, there's just some things I can simply say I don't know or I have no clue of. The Big Bang Theory is one that it's supported by some evidence, but it has a lot of lacking evidence, just as creationism does. Creationism has some evidence. Believe it or not, creationism actually does have some evidence, not like dead on scientific evidence. It's more or less pseudosciences. But if I were to say, I'd have to go with the Big Bang Theory if I had to pick one, just because it is little logical sense as it makes, it still makes some compared to creationism to me. I believe in the theory of evolution. I don't necessarily know exactly how the universe came to be, but I do believe in evolution and that everything evolves to what we now know today. And that's not specifically on Earth, that's anything in the universe. Like for you, how do you believe we got here?
I don't know.
You see what I mean? It's just you kind of come to a point where you just either have your own theory or
Like,
you believe in someone else's theory, or you just don't have any clue, so you just accept that you don't know.
like whenever my mom, my stepmom, or my dad will ask me, or I'll be like, "How do we get here?" And they're like, "Well, what do you think?" And then they expect me to be like, "God," and no, there's more behind it. Like, I
What
know
about
that.
what are your thoughts on pushing religion on like specifically children?
What do you mean?
Well, say like when you grow up in a household that are your mother and your father are Christian, and they kind of push that belief onto you.
Like, they expect me to be that way too?
Yeah, and they also, I mean, they forcefully make you go to church and stuff like that. And
How does
what
that
do
make
you?
me feel?
No, I mean, what do you think about that being implemented in other people's families? Like, is it like,
Oh,
do you
okay.
think yeah?
Um,
Do you agree
I
with it
think
that their parents have full choice on what their religion is,
no.
or
I think that if you want to be a Christian and you want to go to church, then go to church. If you don't want to go to church, then you don't have to. Like, you shouldn't be forced to go to church
Mhm.
if you
See,
don't want to. You shouldn't be forced to believe in something that you don't like. You can't just like, you shouldn't be forced to believe in what others want you to. Like, you have your own mind,
mhm,
and you know,
mhm. Yeah, let me take a side note real quick. To the two people watching, by the way, thank you. We did hit 3 people a second ago. Um, this is our first live stream, so that is an accomplishment for me. Do you remember there is a chat right here, and I'm going to show you real quick by saying, I'm just going to say, hey. You can talk in that chat right there, and I will see what you're saying. So if you'd like to, if you have your own question and like us to discuss that topic, then I will. We'll bring it up at some point during this conversation. If you have anything you would like to know, what our thoughts and opinion are on, then simply type it in the chat right there, and we will see it. And there's also a
will I be
little,
able to see the question or only you?
only me, I'm pretty sure. There's also little emoticons. Oh, hold on, no, enter. Oh, what the freak? It's okay. There we go. It's got little emoticons and whatnot. I don't know. I might choose your question over
But
another
if
person
they if
simply because of emoticon.
but if someone does ask a question, read it out loud.
I will. Um. Anyways, my opinion on children and religion in general, I don't think it should be pushed upon. I mean, yes, you can lean towards it. You can kind of encourage your child to become a Christian, become a Muslim, become a Buddhist, whatever you are. You can encourage it, but forcing them to go to church when they clearly don't want to and stuff like that, that's wrong. Now, when I have a child, and hopefully when we have a child, I am going to discuss it with him or her, why I don't believe in a being, a higher power being, such as God, Allah, whatever. I will discuss that with him, but I will not force him in any way to be non-religious. If he wants to go to church, I'll happily take him to church. If he doesn't, then I mean, we won't be going to church. I won't be going to church anyways. But if he wants to go to church, or he wants to go to a Muslim church or a Buddhist church or any kind of event such as that, then I'd happily take him. But at the same time, I would kind of discuss with him why I don't believe in what he believes, and kind of get my opinion across, just as he would discuss with me and get his opinion across. Well, he or she, whatever. But yeah, that's kind of I completely disagree with somebody forcing the religion, especially on their child, because they're children, They don't, I mean, and they kind of grow up with when people are threatening them with the fear of eternal torture in hell, and that's not something a child should endure,
Yeah, like my stepmom, she'll always be like, "What happens if you don't believe in God?" And I'm just like, "You go to
Yeah,
hell."
exactly. And that kind of still rubs off today. I mean, you still have your moments where it kind of becomes real again for you, even if you're a non-believer. It kind of still is real.
And like the thing about it is like I haven't told none of my family members about me and my
aside
religious
from
points.
aside from your direct family or your entire family, like your
Like
mom, your
my
dad.
mom, my dad, etc. Not like cousins and shit like that. Like just like strictly like siblings and my parents.
Have you told them?
No,
Really? Your mom? So your mom? What does your mom think you are at the moment?
just a Christian.
Really? Isn't she Catholic?
She thinks she's Catholic, but she's really not.
Okay, so she identifies as Catholic, but so it's kind of like a Christian that identifies as a Christian but goes against what they believe in, kind of.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like I could never open up. Well, I could probably open up to my dad and tell him because his brother is an atheist and that doesn't really change the fact that they're brothers and that they love each other. But
How exactly did you, like, what kind of made you realize you were an agnostic? And
I was just about to ask you that.
like, what was the moment and what led up to you becoming an agnostic?
Just like thinking more about it and just like saying like, wow, that doesn't really make sense. And then like I started getting like angry about the fact that that is just like some of the things that are in the Bible just like really pissed me off.
Hmm.
And like for instance, um I was gonna say for example, but then that came out, so it kind of came out wrong. But uh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, um, gay marriage and being gay and stuff like that. You People say that you're born gay, but if you were born gay, then why would you go to hell for God be making you that way? Like
I believe
you're
they say
created in
that.
God's image, but if you're born gay, then why do you go to hell for?
Yeah, exactly. And I believe they say that it's more or less like they bring up the topic of that it's a test. And I personally don't agree with that. I mean, you can say what you want. I mean, a lot of people believe it's pure choice, and to an extent, it is. Just like a heterosexual person, it's pure choice whether or not you want to be with a heterosexual another, like the opposite sex. You could, but it's all comes down to sexual arousal and hormonal differences, and it's as simple as they were born this way. There's no changing that. They were born that way, and that's how they continue to live their life. And personally, it's really disturbing to me when other people decide to implement their beliefs on other people, and they threaten them with hell and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not right. But back to the original question. Kind of, what was the exact moment you realized you're an agnostic? Like the day, or I mean, it doesn't really happen overnight. It's a slow and long process. I know from personal experience, but when was the first time you kind of like got it in your head and you kind of were like, oh, you know what? I don't believe in God, or I don't believe in the Christian God specifically, or the Muslim God, or the Buddhist God. I kind of believe in my own God.
I don't remember.
You don't
It
remember?
just happened.
Yeah. So yours was a lot more elaborate and slow than okay. See, for
So,
me, for me, it was. I mean, it was kind of like a 6 month long thing. Initially started with me. The funny thing is, I never read the Bible my entire life as being a Christian, and it initially started with, believe it or not, me becoming an atheist was reading the Bible. I read the Bible and I completely didn't. I became an agnostic. I was like, I don't believe in Jesus and I don't believe in the Bible. I believe in my own kind of God. You know. And then it's kind of slowly after I did more and more research and I studied other religions, I was like, okay, well, I don't believe in God in general. I don't believe in any God. I went to kind of more of a spirituality type of thing. And I believed in many different spiritual aspects and stuff like that. And slowly progressed onto full on atheism. Once it was like, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the Bible. I don't believe in any, the Quran or Buddhism. I don't believe in any of that. I don't believe in spirituality. I kind of realized that myself. It's like this is just as much bullcrap to me as everything else. So I kind of was just like, what? I don't believe in anything. And then that's kind of when I was comfortable with identifying as an atheist. You know.
right?
Um, Anyways, what were you saying?
I wasn't saying anything. I was just listening to you.
Okay. Whoa. We have chat.
We do?
Yes, we do.
What do they say?
Um, Sweet Cheeks. Why is this not showing up in? Hold on one second, guys. Why is this not showing up in my chat on here? Oh, this is the group chat. We go normal chat. One second. That was my mistake, guys. My mistake. One second. Let me go to the group chat or the normal chat. Let me pause this so it's not playing back on you guys. We have Sweet Cheek. So what does she identify as? She identifies as an agnostic. Um,
I can
and
answer my own question.
and thank you, Sweet Cheek. Thanks about the communication system. I was thinking so myself, but we talk a lot, so it's not. Yes, Sweet Cheek, I do answer every question. If you have one you'd like to ask, go ahead and ask it. So.
This is so cool.
Tommy G. Hello, Tommy G. If you're still in here.
Was she the only one that asked the question?
Tommy Sweet, yeah, Sweet Cheek's the only one that's asked the question so far. And if you'd like to ask another one, Sweet Cheek.
Feel free to ask,
yes.
and I'll answer it this time because I can answer my own questions. If it's towards me, then I'll answer it. If it's about anything else, then
You
either
don't
or.
have. It's okay. What
I'm
about
not
me?
trying to be a B word, but
What about me? Meaning, what do I identify as? I identify as an atheist. Yes. I went from Christian till about 2 years
because like
ago, and then to an agnostic, and then to more like a spirituality type of thing. I don't really know. It was more. I don't. It wasn't really a religion. It was. It was kind of weird, to be honest, what I believed in and some of the things I believed in after I became an agnostic. And then I kind of realized, well, I don't believe in any of this, and I became an atheist. That is what you're saying, Megan?
I remember when you used to really believe in all that stuff.
Yeah, there's still stuff on my Facebook about. Are you talking about when I became an agnostic and kind of swapped over?
No, like when you were a Christian and you're really into God and stuff.
Sweet Cheek. Can I break down the process of what?
Huh?
Sweet Cheek asked, like how you went from one thing to the other. Oh, well, it initially started whenever I was a Christian, and I kind of I never read the Bible up until a year ago. That's kind of where I became an agnostic. And when I initially read the Bible, I was kind of just like, well, I don't believe in any of this, you know. Um, it kind of just it didn't make sense to me. Not in the sense that I didn't understand it, in the sense that it wasn't factual. You know, it was more or less like me reading a simple fiction book. Like I'm reading The Girl in 6E, which is actually a pretty decent book. Besides the point, it was just more. The more I read it, the more I felt like I was reading like a Harry Potter series. And when you actually try and attempt to look up factual information for it, it's more or less pseudosciences, which is infactual sciences. It's something where somebody goes, okay, I theorize this, I'm gonna test it, and then there is no conclusive result. So at that point, I was like, I don't believe in the Christian God, or I did believe in the Christian God, but I don't believe in Jesus and the Christian God, you know, the Holy Spirit and all that. I just believed in God, and I didn't believe in the Bible. And then I moved from that at some point when I did more research on God's more or less like different religions, Islam, Buddhism, stuff like that. I just kind of in general theorized I did not believe in any God. So at which point I met spirituality. And spirituality is just if you believe in relative spirits, not like ghosts and stuff like that. Just that when you die, your spirit goes somewhere. So I still believe in that, but at that point, I was a spiritualist and an agnostic alike. And then I mean, after time passed over that, I kind of just it's not something you just simply choose. Like I don't believe this. It's something that kind of happened. I was just like, all right, I don't believe this. You know, it's just like that. It just kind of came over me. You know. And then that's when I was comfortable with identifying as an atheist. But back to the topic. This is more or less, this isn't necessarily a religious question. It's more or less a personal question, but at the same time, it can be religious. But what are your thoughts on abortion?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I believe that if you are if you just found out like you got pregnant and you're like not even like a week you're only like a week, like you're, how do I word this, like you're only like 2 weeks long or whatever, and you decide that you want to get an abortion, I personally say if you want to do that, go on ahead, because technically
Hold on 1 second. Tommy G. Hey, Tommy G asked, how do you feel about Santa Claus?
I think Santa Claus is the shit.
Heck
He
yeah.
put toys under your tree.
Santa Claus, that's funny.
He is jolly, and he got a big old belly.
I believe more in Santa Claus than I do Jesus. Let's just say that.
Hey, we get to have the Easter Bunny here soon.
Yes. But, see, at least with Santa Claus, I get presents. You know, there's evidence for that. But yeah.
I figured out Santa Claus was fake when I found out that he had the same handwriting as my mom.
That's not. But anyways, what were you saying?
Okay, so if you find out that you're pregnant and you want to get an abortion, but you're not that far along, then go on ahead, because technically you still fertilized eggs, technically not a baby, and you're not killing anything, you're just aborting it to be a baby. And if you want to do that, then go on ahead. Your choice.
So you have a cap on how long you can wait until you get an abortion?
If you are well over 20 weeks and you decided that you want to get an abortion, fuck you.
Really? That's your opinion on that. So you feel strongly about that?
Because it's a baby. Like, really? Why couldn't you decide you didn't want it before? Like,
I'm more of like a 6 month kind of thing. Like if you're pregnant for 6 months, you have the 6
20
months.
weeks is like 4 to 6 months.
Yeah, no, it's 4 to 6 though. But I'm full dead on 6 months. Um, because I mean, at that point, you should have enough time to know whether or not you would like to abort
Like if
this
you don't want the
child.
baby, at least place it for adoption.
Mhm. Yeah,
Like
towards actual birth, like the closer you get, the more you kind of just got to be like, you know what, I need to make a decision, and I kind of need to make a decision now. You know.
not wait 6 months and be like, oh, I don't want this baby anymore. Like really, fuck you.
Exactly. Um, but yeah, what was I gonna say? But if you guys are enjoying the stream so far, be sure to give it a thumbs up down there. Um,
Are they
uh,
watching us on YouTube?
yes, they are watching us on YouTube. We are on YouTube. Trying to get the chat right in here on my thing though. It's not showing up. This is just a group chat where it's showing me and you.
Have we got any more questions?
People. No, wait, quick questions. Hold on.
How many are watching?
2.
Oh, hey.
But yeah, how long has this stream been going for?
Like 10 minutes.
I don't know. It's longer than that.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't tell you.
No, it doesn't either. We still haven't covered everything though. Still got a lot. Awesome. Sweet Cheek thumbed up. What's up? Hey, Sweet Cheek. Thank you for thumbing up.
So, what? Okay, I have a question. How did your family react to you?
Oh, how my family react? The coming out stage is right. You don't know about that. Like you haven't went through that yet. That's right. Well, it's my sister had actually. I had her. We were discussing it, and she's like, okay, what you need? Because she was a Christian at the time. She's like, okay, what do you need?
Wait, youngest or oldest?
Youngest, my youngest sister. She was like, okay, we need, let dad know. Because I had already let my mom know. She was a little bit more lenient on that. She was just, she didn't really have an opinion. She was just like, okay, like she's just like, that's fine, or whatever. She still believed that I was gonna, burn in hell, basically, but she wasn't like trying, still at the point where she was forcing the religion on me in general. But when I had Kaylee. Kaylee asked, my dad, like, what would you do if one of us was an atheist or whatever? And he said he'd feel disappointed, blah blah blah. Anyways, I ended up telling him I was an atheist, and his reaction wasn't like he freaked out or anything. It was more or less like, wow, that's kind of wow, my son's gonna burn in hell or whatever. Which, by the way, doesn't exist. Just want to throw that out there, in my opinion. So that was kind of his reaction. It was just, I mean, he wasn't happy about it, but he wasn't angry about it. He respected my choice, and everybody still does. I do have a lot of debates with him still. And then my younger sister ended up becoming, an agnostic, and then now she is also an atheist. Really, Tommy G? That sounds fun. Tommy G said I burned in hell once. I had a pretty good time, surprisingly. Hey, if hell does exist, there's plenty of scientists down there. But down by now, I'm pretty sure they've invented AC by now. Don't worry about that. But yeah.
Do you know why they say short people are mean?
Because
they're closer to hell.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think? What are your thoughts on like what we're doing here, which is kind of in a jokingly manner towards religion? I mean, should religion be mocked by atheists?
What do you mean?
Do you feel that religion being mocked by atheists, like us making fun of religion?
Okay, there are boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're just being an asshole, like, don't be that type of atheist.
Mm-hmm. So were you saying it's okay if you know the person's gonna like laugh with you or whatever.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like there are limits,
Hmm.
and not that I am gonna get all butthurt about it, but like I don't know. To other people
To other
that
people.
I care about would get
Mm.
offended.
Okay. See, I understand that. I mean, there's a certain point. I mean, I don't get offended easily when someone tells me I'm gonna burn in hell or whatever. I kind of laugh at the idea. But
No one's
it,
ever told me that I was gonna burn in hell.
well, you also haven't came out as an agnostic yet.
Well,
But
I've
it's just
told
funny.
friends.
What's funny is though, especially with the Christian population, with us living in the United States, where it's heavily Christian, when you see a billboard that's threatening you with eternal torture and burning in hell, to everybody else, okay. That's fine. That's a good billboard. It's preaching Christian and blah blah blah. But if you see a atheist billboard that just says simply as "Don't believe in God, you're not alone," and it takes you to the atheist group, their website and stuff like that. That caused a huge thing. You can actually look it up on YouTube. That caused a huge thing among Christians with a simple atheist billboard. That it's really not offensive. Like there are some that are offensive, but they're really not. You know, and that's what I don't like. You
And
know.
like there are kids that are atheists and they get bullied. Like that's so messed up.
Hmm. That they're kind of disclosed to the general population because we are the minority. I mean, it even said in a study that atheists are less trusted than rapists. You know, but anyway, guys,
And people just think atheists are just like these cold-hearted people, but
people,
they're really like the nicest people ever. Like I don't get it.
especially with the freaking the moral argument that if you don't believe in God, you don't have morals. That's possibly the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. You know.
Like if you met my uncle who's an atheist, I told you about, he is the goofiest person ever.
Mhm.
Like they have like the best personalities ever. And then you got Christians over here that are just like the most judgmental people ever.
Well, also, I mean, they kind of it's the Bible tells them, to live their life and
Like you have to do this a
and
certain way,
yeah, abide by
and they're
that.
so hypocritical. Like no,
Yeah. Um, Sweet cheek. Do I believe in voodoo? No, don't believe in voodoo. Never, honestly, never been asked that question. But no, I don't. I don't believe in voodoo. I believe I see it. It's fascinating. Like if you see it from like a movie perspective, or a book perspective, like voodoo, it does sound cool and seem cool. But no, I don't. Personally, as a life choice and as religion, no, I do not believe in voodoo. I don't know. What about you, Megan? You believe in voodoo?
I've never really thought about it, but no.
That's more like witchcraft and stuff like that,
Yeah,
where you like with the thumbtacks and a sock puppet or whatever.
those little doll things.
Mm-hmm. Where you stick it with a pen and it hurts somebody else or whatever.
Yeah, that's dumb. It's like no.
But I mean, it does have like a lot of people believe in that, believe it or not,
But if
especially
that
in like
actually happened, that'd be kind of freaky shit.
yeah, but like in African culture, it's actually pretty common. They have witch doctors and stuff like that.
Those things were the creepiest masks ever. That's what you were for Halloween.
No, or that was a plague doctor. That was an actual historical event that happened. That was during the Black Plague and the Black Death. It's when they would wear that. It's like a beak, like a bird beak, and it also had the eye cover that covers your whole face, and it doesn't allow you to because the stench of dead bodies in the streets was just and infected wounds and people literally rotting from the inside out. They actually wore that and they put some flowers and scented stuff in the tip of the beak so that it would smell that instead of the dead bodies and rotten bodies and all that, and it wouldn't get in their eyes and stuff like that. And they also wouldn't catch the plague. But hey, do you drink blood like a man?
Huh?
Nothing. They're quoting a song.
What did they
But
say?
Hey, do you drink blood like a vampire without warning?
Oh,
Who do you voodoo, bitch? Anyways, that's it, guys. I think we're gonna end the stream. For now, I'm gonna restart it up here for too long, and we're gonna have another guest along. But thank you, Megan, for sharing your thoughts and opinions on today's stream.
you're welcome.
All right, goodbye, guys.